Tohyo! Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. We have the last story here. It's the one we have taken to schools and everywhere. Kokodiko, the dance monster. Who has seen Kokodiko, the dance monster, perform? A few people from schools and the community. Yet, they are going to dramatize it as well. And we have 2 songs within the storytelling. The first one goes like this: Kokodiko, Kokodiko, Kokodiko. Can we sing? Sing with me, please. I'll tell you, you are not passive. You are a part of that. Kokodiko, 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 Kokodiko. All right, thank you. When the time comes, I'll make a signal, and maybe the drummers will overshadow us. We will just leave it. And then there's another song for the warriors. Wa, 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 wa. And lastly, when you feel strongly about something, pass a comment. The Africans here know what I mean. You can just say, oh my Lord, oh God, what is that? Oh my God, and things like that. Okay? Tohyo!
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh.
Tohyo!
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh.
A long, long time ago, Kokodiko is the title story. A long, long time ago, there was a village somewhere in the area now called West Africa, where people did not like twin babies. Yes, when twins were born, their parents were asked to take them to the forest away from the village. Why? Because they said they believed that twin babies will bring them bad luck. Yes, so any time twins were born, the parents were asked to take them to the forest to stay. And one day, a man and his wife in that same village had a set of identical twin baby boys. They were very beautiful, but nobody cared about that. Instead, they ran to the king and said, Your Majesty, can you send them away from the village before they bring us bad luck here? So the poor parents were forced to carry their baby to live away from the village so that people would not buy or sell anything to them. So time passed, and one day something weird started to happen in that village. A monster called Kokodiko came to establish itself in the forest around the village. And this monster was killing so many people. It had no weapon to fight. It had no bone, no arrow, no stone, no stick, nothing. It was just a dance monster. When it meets its victims, it will force them to dance and dance and dance until they drop down dead. And just like that, one day, the market women, on their way to the market, they had to band together for fear of meeting Kokodiko on the way. They had to pass hills, rivers, valleys, bushes, and when they were right in the heart of the forest, Kokodiko came rushing out and said, Dance! Kokodiko! Kokodiko! Danced and danced until one by one they started to drop. And they all fell. And Kokodiko jumped up for joy and disappeared into the forest. Ooh! And Kokodiko, 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 Kokodiko. Then the warriors of the village said, let's go to the center of the town to talk, of the village, to discuss. And they asked each other, who or what is this monster? Why should we be afraid of it? Is it stronger than the elephants and lions that we fought with our bare hands? Or is it stronger than all the warriors we had conquered in the past? We are going to look for it and get rid of it. So to empower themselves, they went singing into the forest. Eh, eh, wa, 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 eh, 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 wa. And then Kokodiko heard that song and was fired up and came rushing out and said, dance, Kokodiko, Kokodiko, Kokodiko. And then the warriors became tired, even though they were strong. One by one, they started to drop. Boom, boom, boom. And the monster jumped up for joy and disappeared. Woo! Kokodiko, Kokodiko, Kokodiko. And then the king of the village went to inspect his village and said, oh, you gods of my ancestors, what shall I do? This warrior, this monster has destroyed all the people in my village, almost all. Then the king remembered, yes, when I go on my journeys from village to village, I have my magic words. With my magic words, I can tell wild animals to disappear before me. So I will go and use the same system with this monster. So the king, armed with his magic stick and magic words, went to the forest to look for the monster. When he got there, the monster saw him and rushed out again and said, dance. But the king would not dance, he stood his ground and instead started to use his magic words on the...
Sors, ne reviens plus, on te veut plus dans notre village. Ha, mouvement.
Malo, arrière, ba, go! And the king was very happy. He went back to his village to celebrate. Then from out, as they were celebrating, then a hunter came running out and said, Your Majesty, I was just lucky to have escaped from Kokodiko. No, said the king, I made it disappear already. Oh, Your Majesty, it is still there. It's now dancing with my colleagues. I was just lucky to have escaped, not knowing what to do, what else to do. Everybody put their hands on their chin and started to think of what to do. Then from out of the forest came two little boys. They looked like twins and they were identical. And yes, they were really the who were thrown in the forest a long time before. They grew up and they heard what was happening in that village and they came to see the king. When they got there, they bowed down and greeted the king. Kabiesi, Your Majesty. And they turned to the village people, we would like to go and get rid of that monster. Everybody kept quiet, just as you have kept quiet. And some people said, how can you two little boys? Before they said that, the others broke out in a hearty laughter. Can we laugh? Oh, look at this. One side said, you are too young to do that. How can you do that when the king, the warriors, the hunters could not? And the other side said, send them, Your Majesty. They brought this plague into our village. Send them. The king had no choice. He had to send them. And the boys had a plan. They took lots of banana bread, banana cookie, banana drink and water, and they went to the forest. When they got there, they looked for a big Iroko tree, a big tree, and one of them hid behind the tree, and the other went in search of Kokodiko. Again, Kokodiko, from where it hid, could see the boy and rushed out and said, "Dance!" After dancing and dancing, the boys noticed that the monster would change its back, would bring its back towards them, and they would quickly switch places. One was dancing and the other was refreshing himself. Kokodiko, Kokodiko. Again, exchange of places. Kokodiko, 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 and then after many days of dancing, they realized that the monster was wobbling at the knees and it was trembling, and they said, no, don't fall yet, Kokodiko, you want a dance, we'll give you a dance. Dance, Kokodiko, 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 Kokodiko didn't even know why they became two, and that compounded his problem, and it fell, a big fall. And all the people watching from top of hills and trees nearby all shouted and ululated them. Then the king stood up. Then the king stood up and said, "Thank you, my people. From today, let nobody throw our twins in the forest because they don't bring bad luck. See, they have saved us from the monster. We are going to, in fact, make them chiefs of this village. Let us celebrate for 7 days and 7 nights and sound the drum."